Okay, guys, so this is probably going to be the last theory video about the FNAF movie that I'm going to make. We've discussed all of the hidden Easter eggs in the movie. We've tried to explain the ending of the movie as best as we could. But now I thought it would be a really cool video to talk about the future of the FNAF movie. What do we think is going to happen in Five Nights at Freddy's 2? What kind of plot could we think of watching the first movie? You know, theorizing and speculation about what we think could happen and what cool things could happen in it as well. The FNAF movie ends very open, right? Very open because I think Blumhouse and Scott knew that they were going to make a trilogy anyway. Scott said in my interview back in 2018 that he's always wanted to make a trilogy. Matthew Lillard said in an interview earlier this year that he signed a 3-year deal as well. I'm pretty sure they already signed up for a deal. Maybe they did something with Peacock. Maybe Peacock agreed to pay for 3 movies or something like that. I think even if the movie didn't do as well as it has, which is amazing, by the way, we'll talk about that in a minute, I do think that we're going to do it anyway. I really do. But the good thing is, the movie's done really good anyway. So, the movie's done so well. I think at the time of recording this, it's made 150 million in its first week. 150 million with a $25 million budget. And that's not with the Peacock deal as well. I'm guessing Peacock gave them like at least 10-20 million. So add that as well. The FNAF movie's been a huge success for Blumhouse, Scott, Universal. They are 100% going to make a FNAF 2 and FNAF 3, which is why they left the FNAF movie so open, you know? It ends with Mike, Abby, and Vanessa escaping the pizzeria. The pizzeria collapses. William Afton gets spring-locked. He gets trapped in the location. Vanessa's in hospital. We don't know whether she's going to survive or not. She probably will. At the end, Abby says to Mike, can we go and see the animatronics again? And Mike says, well, you never know what's going to happen. So, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. We've also got a lot of questions, you know? What's going to happen with William Afton? We kind of know that. Are we ever going to find out about what happened to Garrett? Like, what's the deal with Golden Freddy, the Golden Freddy kid? What happened with the animatronics? Are they still possessing the animatronics? Were they set free? And of course, FNAF fans know at the end credits, it was teased that the puppet is going to be in the next movie. The question is, what's the future for the FNAF movies? What is FNAF 2 going to be about? And we're just going to talk about it. Apparently, the script for FNAF 2 is being changed due to the criticism of the first movie. So that's a really good sign. I knew that Scott would have listened to fans and criticism, you know, valid criticism where it happens, you know. That's confirmed by Scott Cawthon as well. Anyway, thanks everyone for making opening weekend such a big success. It was beyond my wildest dreams. I do read the comments and critiques. So while I am glad most people had a great time at the movies, I am definitely paying attention, and I wanted you all to know that. Scott is looking at people's comments and critiques about the first movie and making changes for the sequel. What do we think the FNAF 2 movie is going to be about? I think it's going to be about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the FNAF 2 location with the toy animatronics and, of course, the puppets. If you are a newcomer to the franchise, in the game universe of Five Nights at Freddy's, there's multiple locations that we go in and explore. It's basically like a small Chuck E. Cheese business, multiple locations around America. In the movie universe, it's very easy for them to have multiple locations in the movie universe. I think there's going to be a FNAF 2 location where the puppet is with the toy animatronics, and Mike, Vanessa, and Abby go and take it down. They learn that William Afton killed multiple victims in the other location. Maybe they do some more research online and they discover there was another location with murders where the location had to be shut down. They've witnessed what happens to the animatronics if that happens. They band together as a FNAF crew and they're like, yeah, we need to deal with this problem. You know, we've seen what's happened with this pizzeria. Let's go and travel to Nebraska, something like that, to the FNAF 2 location and go and deal with them. I think Nebraska's close to where the movie's set. I can't remember where the movie was set. FNAF 2 location is in Nebraska, where Mike used to live, where William Afton used to live as well. William Afton killed Garrett. Garrett turned into the puppet. William Afton killed other kids in the FNAF 2 location as well. It closed down. William Afton moved. That could have been the original location in Nebraska or something. He kills kids in there, including Garrett. And the place gets closed down and he moves state to get away from it. You know, maybe there's too much suspicion about him or something and he moves state. Obviously, it's a coincidence that Mike moves to the same state, but you know, symmetry. Especially at the end of the credits saying, come find me. But who are they trying to find? It's got to be somebody important. Come find me is definitely the puppet, especially with the music box at the end as well. But why? Why is the puppet saying come find me? Because the puppet is at a separate location with other possessed animatronics. Mike, Abby, and Vanessa are going to go to that location to deal with it. There's been a lot of theories going around that Garrett is the puppet. It works. It can work. It can easily work. It could work. And then they go to the location. You know, they have to deal with the toy animatronics. And you can imagine the toy animatronics being more aggressive because the place has been completely abandoned or something. And they're very, very aggressive compared to the original Fnaf movie animatronics. You can imagine the puppet being there, Mike finding out that the puppet is Garrett, and then we learn about the origins. We get flashbacks of Matthew Lillard as William Afton in the Fnaf 2 location as Spring Bonnie, live action scenes and stuff like that. That would be great to see. It really, really would. You know, maybe we'll get a few deaths and stuff, maybe some vandals or teenagers go into the location and that they get killed or something. Maybe somebody's working with William Afton and keeping that location afloat. Maybe he's got a sidekick or something. Maybe William Afton was keeping both locations up. We don't know. He wasn't just hiring night guards for the FNAF 1 location, but the FNAF 2 one as well. Blumhouse and Scott could do anything. The other plot point what people were talking about, and I'm a little bit iffy with, and I haven't really mentioned it. What if Mike's dad is Henry? What if Mike's dad is Henry? I think it's a good idea. If you didn't know, in the game lore and the book lore, Henry is William Afton's business partner. William Afton and Henry Emily run the locations together. They made Fredbear's Family Diner together. Something happens where William Afton kills Henry's daughter, Charlie, and then Charlie turns into the puppet in the games. We don't exactly know why William Afton killed Charlie. To begin with, Charlie's the first victim, by the way, in the game lore. She is the original. The biggest theory why William kills Charlie is because of the bite. I don't want to make it too complicated. William's son, the crying child in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, gets killed by Fredbear. That caused William Afton to hate Henry. Maybe Henry was the first creator of Fredbear. William Afton blames Henry for his son getting killed because Henry made the animatronic. You can imagine behind the scenes William Afton saying, it's all your fault. You made this animatronic. You made it unsafe. Look what you've done. You've killed my son. That causes William Afton to go after Charlie and ruin Freddy Fazbear's Pizza forever and make sister location. Why did William Afton go after Garrett in the first place? Why was he randomly there at a campsite in Nebraska and took Garrett? Was it just a coincidence or was it intentional? Was William Afton intentionally trying to get Garrett? Was it intentional? Was there a reason behind it? We don't know yet. People are saying it was intentional because Mike's dad is Henry. I do think that's good, but it does have a big plot hole. Mike doesn't know about the Freddy's locations. He knows nothing about Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. He doesn't know anything about the locations. He knows nothing about it. Surely if his dad was Henry, he would know about those things, you know? At the age Garrett was murdered, he was probably like 10 or something. So surely he would know about the Freddy's locations if his dad was Henry. It can make things pretty confusing because people will definitely say that, like, why doesn't Mike remember any of the locations? The only thing I can think of is that Henry didn't tell him about the locations at all when he was a kid. But you know, that's a big plot hole. At the end of the movie, I think we're going to get a scene where we're back at the original FNAF 1 location and somebody discovers Springtrap. I gave my ideas in a previous video. William Afton's dead, presumed missing. Steve Raglan's missing. Nobody's paying for the location to stay up anymore because he's dead. You can imagine the location getting taken down. Somebody salvages the FNAF 1 animatronics and of course they find Springtrap in there. You see the original FNAF 1 animatronics getting taken and then we see Springtrap at the end and maybe his eyes light up a little bit or like he moves a little bit or something and then the screen fades to black and then that will lead to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We're not going to talk about FNAF 3, the final movie in this video, but I do think it's going to be a final standoff between Mike and Springtrap. I know my plot's very brief. They're going to add some things in there. I think it works, you know. Mike, Vanessa, and Abby as a team know about these possessed animatronics. They find out about this FNAF 2 location. They want to help the possessed kids in there as well. They've heard more murders happen there and it closed down as well. It works because they know possessed robots are going to be there and they want to stop it. You've already got the reason reason why they go to the FNAF 2 location in the first place. They have to deal with the toy animatronics. They find the puppet. They learn about the origins of the puppet. The twist might be that the puppet is Garrett. They save them. There's probably going to be some more plot points in there. And then it ends with Springtrap at the end. I think it works. One person I haven't mentioned yet is Golden Freddy. I think there might be a chance that Golden Freddy returns. Mainly because he was so suspicious in the first. I noticed we never see Golden Freddy in the location apart from when he's the spirit kid. We never actually see we never actually see the Golden Freddy animatronic in the location. If you are a newcomer, Golden Freddy is basically a ghost animatronic. It's a ghost animatronic, basically. I hope that makes sense. It's a ghost animatronic. In Mike's house, when he attacks Aunt Jane, the animatronic is there in the background, but the spirit kid is also in front of him. Golden Freddy is not like the others. What if the Golden Freddy spirit was killed in the FNAF 2 location or something? Or the suit originated from there or something like that. And then when they go to the FNAF 2 location, they see the Golden Freddy suit or something in the back room. I definitely feel like the Golden Freddy kid is the most powerful spirit out of all of them. Golden Freddy in the FNAF 1 movie is the only spirit to leave the location. The others can't. I hope you see what I'm trying to say. I feel like we might see the Golden Freddy spirit again in the second movie. It seemed like he had unfinished business. I feel like that can be explained and developed more in the second movie. Or the third movie, we don't know. Another thing people have been theorizing about is Max and Hank and the Thugs. If they are going to return in the second movie as like ghosts or something. Maybe. I mean, Shadow Freddy was in the FNAF 2 location in the games. So maybe we'll see Max as a spirit in the FNAF 2 location. Doesn't really make sense because she didn't die there. We'll see. We'll see. It could happen. I can't imagine that, you know, that Max did die in a suit. Hank died in Sparky. I can see them haunting the location, you know. There's no reason why it shouldn't happen. Max got stuffed in a suit. If you get stuffed in a suit, you usually possess it. Maybe we'll see Max return as Shadow Freddy. Other than that, guys, I think that's a pretty solid movie. You know, it's very straightforward, but it works. I think the toy animatronics are going to be really cool. I know some people said that they might not be scary enough. I do think there are some creepy shots of the toys in FNAF 2. The Balloon Boy figurine in the FNAF 1 movie is terrifying. So, if Balloon Boy looks like that in FNAF 2, then, you know, that's creepy enough for me. If they're going to an abandoned FNAF 2 location, I don't think they're going to be new and shiny like FNAF 2. I feel like they're going to be old and rotten and displaced eyes and more creepy looking. Maybe. I don't know. Mangle's terrifying. Mangle's probably the creepiest out of the bunch, out of the toys. I feel like Mangle would be great. You'd get some really great shots of Mangle climbing on the walls and hearing static, hearing the radio static that Mangle produces through her speakers, wires and stuff. Like, you can imagine, like, somebody going into the location terrified like a teenager with a graffiti can and, you know, going in, shaking, and he hears static and he looks up and you see Mangle on the ceiling and, like, you get a shot of Mangle doing a big chomp from the ceiling. That would be great. So I feel like Mangle works easily. I feel like we'll just see the FNAF 1 animatronics withered at the end when the FNAF 1 location's salvaged by a company or something. We'll see them again and they're really withered and rotten. I don't know if withers will be there. I feel like it would be too much. But you never know. You never know. Other than that, guys, I think that's it. I think I've spoke about it long enough. Please let me know your thoughts, what we spoke about today. What do you think about the plots that I've spoke about, you know? What do you think about Henry being Mike's dad? Do you think it won't work or do you think it can work? What do you think about Garrett being the puppet? And what do you think about the FNAF 2 location being in FNAF 2? What do you think about it being in Nebraska or something? Maybe Fredbear's Family Diner fits more in Nebraska, like the original location or something like that. But, you know, that would be a really cool twist that location was in Nebraska. And that's why Garrett's there as the puppet. But we'll have to wait and see. If you guys have got any ideas for the movie, please put them in the comment section. Maybe from Blumhouse or Scott, we'll see them and be like, yeah, let's put this in. This is a really cool idea. But yeah, I think this plot for FNAF 2 is pretty solid. I might be completely wrong, by the way. FNAF 2 might not even be about the toys. It might be about Fredbear's Family Diner and the puppets there. With the tease of the puppet at the end and the Balloon Boy figurine as well. It does seem to be toy related with the puppet and the FNAF 2 location. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you like the ideas? Do you think Golden Freddy's going to return? William Afton's going to return. Of course he is. I think we'll see some flashbacks in FNAF 2. And at the end, do you like the ending idea? I feel like it would be great. Going back to the FNAF 1 location, somebody salvaging it. They get the FNAF 1 animatronics out, but they're all withered and old and decrepit. And then at the end, we see Springtrap as well. So, yeah, that'd be great. And then it leads to FNAF 3. Final battle between Mike and Springtrap. I feel like it just works. So, yeah, let me know. Take care, lots of love. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all next time.